All right. Welcome in, everybody. It is Football Sunday. We are ready for the full NFL slate. Sunday morning quarterbacks, week 2, second week. Thank you for all tapping in with us. Brought to you by at Pick City and Daily Bread Media. As usual, you guys saw us last Sunday where we'll be featuring the best analysts in the game, talking about the just regular football talk overall, fantasy advice, and the bets you should be taking. We only bring in the top guys from each team and the top ladies as well. So we will be welcoming them all in throughout the show. But as usual, Sosa and I will be running it. How you doing today, my man?
I'm feeling great, man. You know, another day, another dollar. But glad to be up with with you guys and with you, man. We're about to go crazy today. I honestly think we had a great week last week. I don't see it stopping. I don't see anything stopping. It's going to be a wonderful fucking week. We're gonna go even crazier. We're gonna destroy the books today. And yeah, I'm ready, man. I'm ready to get into it. I'm headed out to the Eagle game. That's why we're a little early today. But let's get right into it, man. You know why I'm here.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Got my Eagles flying on. Sosa and I will be going head to head for the first time this season. Probably the first time we'll ever be mean to each other. Hope you all tuned in yesterday to our paid for play college football show. So each morning on the weekends, if you're walking your dog, getting your coffee, whatever you're doing, be tapping in with us on Saturday and Sunday mornings. It's much better than what you'll get on TV and on YouTube. And we are live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. So make sure to throw us that like, throw us that subscribe there. Really helps us out. But we appreciate to all you guys in the comments. Be hitting us up with your best bets on the game that we're currently at. Any questions? And yeah, we'll get some analysts going head to head.
Yeah, man. So
yes, sir. I'm glad you guys all cashed with me on college football yesterday.
What we get into? What we get into to start?
All right. Well, our first game. I mean, we're just gonna get right into it. Don't keep the people teasing.
Oh,
I brought in my backup. I brought in my hype man for you. We gotta go 2 versus 1. If we're taking out the big dog today, I'm bringing in some support.
Here we go. That's what I'm looking for. Let's go. Okay.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you feeling? How you feeling today? You good?
I'm feeling good, man, because you know what's going on. I know you're going to be at the game, so I hope you enjoyed the hell out of that game. I think it's going to be mad good. But I think the Birds take it, man. I think we take it at home.
That's nice.
So
that's really nice.
Can we get into it?
Y'all. I'm gonna let y'all get your rocks off. Let me listen. I'm listening. I'm here to listen.
All right.
Analyst always goes first. Me and Sister shut up and listen.
All right. So first up, money line is at plus 135 for the Eagles. If we do win this game, we cover. So the plus 3 at minus 110. I'd rather go with the money line at plus 135. I mean, you guys on defense were a little shaky against the Lions. You guys lost Verrett on the outside. So there's that. Jalen Hurts looked pretty good in game 1. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we do pull out a tight game in that one. Now, I also have a couple of props. I was gonna be friendly and give some like Kittle and stuff like that, but it's all juice, man. I know Kittle's gonna ball, but a lot of those picks are juice right now. So we're gonna go in with Devontae Smith over 4.5 receptions. That's at plus 130, which is really great value. I think he's gonna be involved most of the game because again, Verrett is out for the season. You guys are a little short on corner, and he's already our best receiver. If we go on that, right? I like Miles Sanders to get in the end zone at plus 110. I think he gets in. The Lions, both backs got into the end zone against you guys, and I think that's maybe where the Eagles can take advantage if they can run the ball really well. That will open up the outside. As for my other plays, I only have the Noah Fant special today. So I got Noah Fant over most of his props, which is 4.5 receptions, over 46.5 receiving yards, and him to score a touchdown. That's at plus 333.
Okay.
So I am taking that as a player prop parlay. I think they just lost Judy. He's really the most effective receiver in that offense, and I think Bridgewater is gonna try to find him, especially in the end zone and crossing routes and all that. So that's all I got. Go Birds.
Rex, you got any more bullshit to talk about the Eagles, or can I go?
No, we'll switch it back and forth. We'll let you say your piece.
All right. Listen, the Niners are going to win. They're going to win the game by more than 4 points. Okay? Not worried about I'm not worried about any I'm worried about one thing. Our corners are short. We're short at corner. We definitely need we definitely are bad, corner wise. I can't the facts are the facts. I do believe that Jalen Hurts gets a lot of secondary read receptions simply because we're so poor at corner. It's going to be predicated on can we get Jalen off the spot. Last week they ran a lot of design rollouts against a defense that has nowhere near the playmakers that we do. I think that our goal today will be to stop the run and make Jalen Hurts a passer, even though our secondary is a bit questionable. So I'm actually a couple of plays I have for this game. I have Jalen Hurts going under his rushing yards, under 50. I do believe he gets some yardage, but our linebackers are very good. Even without Greenlaw, I think our front's going to be able to generate some level of pass rush and give Philly problems running the ball. Last year you guys beat us. Nick Mullins was the reason why. He threw a pick six that happened to be the difference in the game. He's not playing. If Jimmy Garoppolo is my quarterback, I like us to win if he's 100%. That's just how it goes. I mean, he's shown that throughout his career as a San Francisco 49er. I like us to win a game. I actually like us to cover today over 4. And also, final point in regards to the Detroit game. Detroit didn't play well against us. We took all of our starters out in the third quarter, and we let them get back in the game. And then we pretty much did what basketball teams was, where you pull the starters, the bench goes in, the other team looks really good, and then you put the starters in, and they finish the game. That's basically what happened. I take zero stock into what Detroit did at the end of that game at all. I think it's a close game. But I like the Niners. I got the under in Jalen's for Jalen's rushing prop, and I like the over 68.5 yards at mine. These are both at minus 113. Over 68.5 yards for George Kittle. It's obviously juiced. If you can get an alternate at plus at 75 plus, I would do the same. I like Kittle against any linebacker that wears an Eagle uniform.
That is a fact. That's our probably our weakest point on defense. But we do have a really good stacked front seven. So Jimmy G is going to have to get that ball out really quickly.
He will.
So what I got to say my piece on this game about it is both games last week, I think you kind of take them with a grain of salt. Both teams did what they're supposed to do. Yeah, they took their dogs out. They got an onside kick to recover it. So you just kind of throw that game out. Biggest factor in this game, Nick Sirianni showed up to the stadium in a black Iverson jersey. So that obviously means the Birds are going to be rolling him. He's feeling himself. But no, seriously for this game, the Kittle anytime touchdown at plus 140 is probably the most solid look in this game. We saw Kyle Pitts, who is a rookie that wasn't utilized correctly in the first game. So that's kind of giving the books a little bit of down, or the Kittle prop isn't as juiced because of kind of just like the fake confidence from the week one. I think you almost have to throw out all the week 1 results and just kind of roll into week 2 just because these teams don't have the preseason. And my biggest concern is going to be the Niners are going to just try to run the ball and own the time of possession. This is easily going to be a game where Eagles have built their time of possession. Sure, they move quickly, but this is going to be a team where whatever defense is out there and get more worn out is going to end up losing this game just because I feel like both of them are vulnerable. Both have a little bit of injuries to be dealing with. The Eagles, not as significant as the Niners, but I think the Niners have a little bit of depth that they'll be able to plug it in. It's going to be Hurts is going to be tested. And this is going to kind of be its barometer test for the season where the Niners are going to be able to bring the heat. The Falcons really didn't do it that well. And you saw him jump out of the pocket and avoid some sacks where his quickness does that. You've seen Vic and you've seen other quick quarterbacks jump like Lamar, just jump right out. He's not going to get as lucky sometimes, and sure, his quickness is going to be there. But if he's able to do this against the Niners defense and they do win the home opener, then my expectations are going to be going through the roof. I would take the +3, but for a money line perspective, I don't have any dollars on it just because I don't bet on my own team. But this is where the Kittle anytime touchdown at +140 is the look I'll be rolling with.
That's a nice piece because mine is juiced at -110. So whichever book that is.
Also, one last thing before we let you out of here, Alex. The guy that I am most excited for the prop market for the Philadelphia Eagles is going to be Kenny Gainwell. I think Kenny Gainwell is we're gonna because the market doesn't know exactly how to dictate him because we don't know like what how they're gonna get these lines for him. I think Gainwell is a prime candidate to always be in the mix. He's a very good third down back. We saw him utilized at a high level against Atlanta. So
he was a rookie. First
and
game, and he was in there for your biggest plays and picking up the pass protection blitzes as a rookie. Just completely, we didn't see Boston Scott whatsoever last week. So that's kind of where the team is built into that rookie or bought into him. Maybe we see Scott a little bit this week, but
I love that you brought that up, but it's like on most props, he's not even there on the rushing or receiving, which sucks because I would have definitely put a lot of other props on that. His touchdown prop is at +200. So I did sprinkle something on it. If somehow we get in the red zone, it's like a 3-down package. I think he definitely can get in the end zone because, like you said, he's a complete package back right now, picking up blitzes, something that Miles Sanders can't do. Yes, Miles Sanders is really quick, versatile when it comes out of the backfield, but he can't block ultimately.
For sure.
One other thing that I think could be a next factor, Joshua just signed a new contract. I think he's definitely our biggest defensive end right now, and he's only peaking. And if you can get a couple of sacks on Jimmy Garoppolo, that might be the importance of the game right there.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Alex. Make sure you be following him and follow all of their analysts. You can find their Twitter handle under their head. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Good game, guys.
Appreciate you, brother.
Okay.
Let's get into the next one, man. Let's get into the next game. I know we're fast.
AFC East matchup. Bringing in our main man, Goose, repping the Bills in a pink hoodie today. So
I got the Snow Gear, the Dion Dawkins official line, snowgear.com.
You already know, my man.
What's up, fellas? How we doing?
What's the deal?
How we living?
Yeah, Goose, what's good with you, man? How you feeling? Good? You good? You ready for this Bills L?
I'm here wearing the Bills hat, but I really do think this is the Dolphins game today. I won't lie on the pod or whatever. I won't lie on the show. And that's what I'm rocking with. I'm rocking with the Dolphins +3.5. I think look, NFL players, they're from everywhere in the country. Just because this team is from Buffalo doesn't mean they're a cold weather team. But I'm looking on the weather right now. It's 90 degrees, feels like 106 in Miami. Like, this is going to be a steamy game. And the Dolphins have been practicing in this all August, all September. all July since they reported from camp. So I really think this is going to be an ugly game. Very hot in Miami today. And yeah, I think this Miami defense is just the truth. I think they're top 5 unit. I think Josh Allen's going to have another hard game. I do like the Bills' outlook for after this game. I think, I truly think they drop 0-2 and then they wind up on like an 11-4 run to close the season. But I really would key in on Miami today.
I like that. I like the honesty. I personally agree with you. I like you said, it's a tough environment, tough place for Buffalo. First road game for Josh Allen with fans
In a while.
in a long time, full stadium in Miami. I like Miami personally.
Yeah.
I like them on the money line. I know you like them with the points, but give me the money line at plus 158. I like it. I think that this Miami team the defense is extremely good. I don't know if people miss it when it comes to like I don't know what people are missing, but the defense is elite.
Yeah.
And I think Josh Allen struggles again. I do like Josh to throw a pick. I actually like Josh to throw 2 picks today.
I want to say to throw 1 pick is I saw it at plus 100 on DraftKings.
Yeah, if you can get him at 2, I believe he gets 2. We saw this guy throw the ball 50 times last week and not hit 300 yards. I can't rock with it. Can't rock with it. I also have no props for the game because I don't know who's going to do what. Tua, I saw the Dolphins personally just not trust Tua Tagovailoa last week, and when they did trust him, he threw a ridiculously bad interception, and they were lucky to get out of that game because they turned over New England again. I think that Miami doesn't really trust Tua. I don't think they open up the game plan to go downfield at all. And I think it's an ugly game, like you said. So I personally I'm not touching any props personally in this game. What do you like?
So I got Stephon Diggs last week had 13 targets and 9 catches, did not find the end zone. I like Stephon Diggs to find the end zone. It's at plus 115 anytime touchdown for Diggs. I do think it's going to be an ugly game, but I think, Diggs is all pro, and I think they look his way. And I like Devin Singletary over 39.5 rushing yards. I don't think he's, that talented of a running back, but last week Zach Moss was a healthy scratch or whatever. Zach Moss didn't play, and Buffalo can't be one-dimensional, especially against this secondary. So I look for Devin Singletary to get the ball, maybe 13 rushes. If you get 4 yards a pop, I think this over 39.5 cashes.
Ooh, so Zach Moss, he looks to be out again today, correct? Or is he going to be in the lineup? Or
I haven't seen if he's active or inactive. I just think Devin Singletary is the guy in that backfield. All right, so he's expected to play. I don't see how he could go from a scratch week 1 to really making an impact. But he is expected to play today. But I think Singletary can break off a nice run or two. Miami's run defense is slight suspect. It's that secondary that has so much talent. So I think Buffalo can move the ball on the ground a little today.
Yeah, no, with it being Josh Allen, I don't think it's a factor. And with it being Josh Allen's first game, they're going to have to establish Singletary because with that environment to help to establish that play action fake to one of Josh Wells was saying Miami secondary is insanely talented. By establishing the play action, that'll help give Diggs and the other guys a little bit more of a beat there. Cole Beasley would be the guy I might be targeting because I think Allen might have to get it out quick and be hitting a guy in the slot quite frequently. I don't have an official play on his prop, but that would be the one guy from a fantasy perspective. If you're contemplating him in your flex spot, I would definitely be starting him today if you're questioning that. I see a lot of people in the comments asking for games. We'll get to each one and address it there. So be the best. If you write in about the game, then we can the current game we're talking about, then we can go off your comments. Goose, any last words?
Dolphins plus 3.5. Diggs to score a touchdown, and Singletary over 39.5 rushing yards. Enjoy the Sunday, everyone. Best of luck with all your plays, and keep tuning in. We got a lot more games to talk about.
My man, appreciate you. Goose, let's get it. Let's get paid today, you know?
Take care, fellas.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Goose, make sure to check him out. Paid for play as
Full
well.
West Corner. He's on Pay for Play every Saturday, giving us great college football looks. Appreciate you, my brother.
Take care. Take care.
Peace.
Hey guys,
Spin Doctor.
what's up,
Big
guys?
games. I don't know what you're talking about. We start from all the locks already. If you're just tuning in a little late, you've only missed 2 games so far.
Correct. What up, Doc? How are you today? Good?
Doing good. Got a bunch of plays, got a bunch of action. So yeah, ready to get to it. I know we just talked about it, but I just got to give because Rex, you just said it. I know you said you don't have an official play. I do. I am loving Cole Beasley over 4.5 receptions. Couple quick reasons. The Bills ran a 4 wide receiver set, 95% of snaps last week, and Beasley was on the field for pretty much every single one of those. He tied their team in targets with 13, and in 5 of 7 last games with Allen at quarterback, he's seen 10 plus targets. That is just a huge wealth of opportunity. You talked about the secondary. Beasley plays the majority of his time in the slot, so he's going to avoid Jones and Howard for the majority of the time. And if they're going to be bottling up, Diggs and locking up on Diggs, then I like Beasley to run a lot of short slot routes. I think you can sprinkle a TD prop on there. That's at decent plus money on DraftKings, but I really, really like Cole Beasley over 4.5 receptions. So, but that's not the game we're going to talk about, so we can move on. Yeah,
It's official play now. Spin Doctor certified check. If
Yes,
that's
sir.
a lean that I have, and that's the way you do it. And one of my
That's a play
guys
for
says
me.
it's a good one.
Already bet it.
All right. Our next game we'll be getting into. Spin Doctor will be joining us throughout the show today, as we appreciate him and consider him one of our co-hosts that bounces in when we don't have one of these analysts for the game. So we got divisional matchup. The Saints going to Carolina. Did the Saints blow their load? Big hype game. A lot of motivation for that one to get the city. Showed out. Did everything great. Do we think they continue to roll hot, or are the Panthers going to make some noise, have that cool animated John thing that they played before? But Panthers +3, home Cats. What are we feeling today?
Man, I just got to say that freaking 50-foot Panther. I saw somebody on the Panthers Twitter ask dead serious, like, hey, is that real? I'm like, for God's sake. Like, yes, a giant 80-foot Panther came down and ripped the Jets flag. Anyways,
Unbelievable.
Sorry, Sosa, go ahead.
No, you're good. The stupidity of human beings never surprises me anymore. What's called with this one? I am going to go with New Orleans to win. That's really the only way I see it. New Orleans the better team. It is a division game. I do believe that the weapons that the Panthers have across the board are better than what Green Bay has. So I do believe that the Panthers are going to be able to move the rock better than it's crazy to sound, right? Better than Aaron Rodgers last week, just because they have better weapons. It's a divisional opponent. They know each other well. Having McCaffrey back at 100% gives you a lot more flexibility offensively. I will take the Saints to win the game, but I think that the play is the Panthers with the points, based on it being a divisional matchup. Obviously, we don't know if Marshawn Lattimore's playing. However, with all of their ancillary weapons, I do think that the Panthers have the opportunity here to put up some points and it be a closer game than people would originally anticipate. So, but like I said, it's a tough call for me. My only look is that I think they win the game. I also like McCaffrey over 44 receiving yards. I believe that's what the number's at. I think that's a prohibitive easy play. I mean, the guy's going to get 10 targets out the backfield every game.
Yep.
So
I'm with you on the Saints. I don't have any line on the spread. It's a divisional matchup. Obviously the Bucs are in the NFC South, so I know this division. It's always a slugfest. They're usually close games. Actually, even if you go back about 4 or 5 years, about 60 to 70% of the games between the Saints and the Panthers have been decided by a field goal or less. I think also the one other thing that I look at is, the Saints only threw 21 passes last week. Now that part of that was because they were just beating Green Bay's ass. But Carolina was third in situation neutral pass rate. So, you think about McCaffrey and, he's like the workhorse back, but they were top 5 in the league in percentage of passes thrown. Now, part of that could have been the defense they were playing against with the Jets, but I think in order to keep pace, they're probably going to have to pass more. I don't really have any props for this game, but I do think, if you wanted to do a sprinkle, you could do Marshall anytime touchdown. He actually got almost half their red zone targets last week, and then he actually had one that was a beautiful back shoulder throw that just got broken up. He had another red zone one that was called back by a penalty. So I think that there is some value because you're getting great. I think it's like plus 400 or something like that on DraftKings. But I do like this to be a very, very close, hard fought game. I for sure don't see the Panthers running away with it. And I don't think that the Saints are going to run away with it either. The only other thing that I would look at for a player prop perspective would be Marquez Callaway over, I think it was 44.5 receiving yards. That's just a lean for me. He ran a route on 92% of their snaps last week. The Saints kept everything short. I think part of that was because it was Jameis's first game as a starter in their offense. Those two obviously had chemistry in preseason, so you can sprinkle something on it. It's one where it's like, if I have him in fantasy, I'm deciding between wide receiver 2, 3. I'm probably going to pick Callaway over a lot of guys, but it's not something that I'm putting my official money behind. If you want to, I wouldn't blame you a bit.
Sosa, any plays you like for this one to wrap this one up, player prop wise, that you haven't given out yet?
Just a McCaffrey receiving yards. That's it. I'm not. I don't have too much action on this. I think it's going to be a lot uglier than we anticipate. Personally, division.
I don't like the Taysom anytime touchdown. If you want to gamble with fire, go for it. He's big hit or miss.
He's the gadget guy now, man. He's not. They knew it was up. He's not. Yeah.
Yeah. Plus 300 is not a good enough price for me to consider a Taysom TD. That would have to be plus 500 or better for me to even think about it.
All right.
So
we're getting
into the good one. I got stuff for this for sure.
The Rams versus the Colts. Will Carson Wentz survive? Because he took some pretty rough hits that last game. We got the Colts 3.5 home dog plus 170 in the money line. You got a 47.5 total. Sosa, you said you like it. Let me hear it.
Give me the Colts and the points at the crib. I know everybody's on the Rams. Everybody's talking about how good they looked week 1, and they should. They played the Bears. Carson Wentz played his first game in I don't know how long, coming off of surgery, wasn't healthy, didn't play a down in preseason. And, you take 2 plays away from the defense. The defense, gave up the big shot play to Lockett, which was just it was just terrible coverage. You got your safety playing center field, and he gets beat on a secondary read through the seam. That was just absolutely embarrassing defense. I like the Colts to bounce back here. I think, they're going to run cover 2 all game. I like Woods and Kupp to both get their catches. I think they throw the ball around the park a lot. Colts front 4 and front 7 is solid. They are going to have holes in the secondary. I think the only thing that really hurts the Colts is this. They don't have a true number 1 receiver. And when you have Jalen Ramsey being able to move around and the defense kind of dictate where you gotta go with the ball, that's where it becomes a problem. I personally believe that like I said, I think it's a close game, a field goal game. I think Stafford gets them down the field at the end and they win it. But I do not like. I'm not touching the 3.5 I'm not taking the Rams to cover a spread on the road. New quarterback, new coach, first road game indoors at a stadium in which the home team needs a win. I think that the Colts really, really want this game. But again, I am not. I think it's right down to the wire, the very end. I think that's how the game script plays out for this one.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Sosa. There's a few things that I like in this game. And some of it has a little bit of a DFS flair to it. I love Tyler Higbee. Tyler Higbee played 100% of snaps last week and ran a route on 93% of pass plays. That is Travis Kelce-esque. I'm not saying he is Travis Kelce. I'm just saying that volume and that opportunity, which is what you look for when you're looking at fantasy, DFS, player props. That is that's Kelce level. The other thing is, interestingly enough, so Kupp also ran 100% of on pass routes, or was in for 100% of the snaps. For passing downs, the next highest guy was not Robert Woods. It was Van Jefferson. He actually outsnapped on passing plays Robert Woods 86 to 68%. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to continue. I think part of that was a little bit of game scripting with how the Rams played it. But but any Tyler Higbee prop, I think, can have some value. I think if you're building a DFS lineup, I think that Tyler Higbee makes a lot of sense. And then on the Colts side, Nyheim Hines is a very, very sneaky DFS tournaments play. Reason being is because Colts had 39% target share to running backs last week. That was twice the NFL average, and that's almost 2.5 times what they've done previous seasons. So I think that when you have a fearsome pass rush like the Rams have, then you're going to have to use a lot of short, quick routes, especially Sosa, you mentioned they don't have a number one receiver. So your best, honestly, one of the best Colts' best receiving threats is Nyheim Hines out of the backfield. So, and that's the best way, the quickest way to slow a pass rush like the Rams have down is by a lot of screens, a lot of quick wheel routes, stuff like that. So it's a strong lean that I have with Nyheim Hines over 3.5 receptions at plus 105 on DraftKings. I would not blame you at all if you took that. And I think that you can sprinkle a Hines touchdown on there. But if you're playing a GPP, on either DraftKings or FanDuel, man, find a way to slot Nyheim Hines in your lineup, flex or running back.
Absolutely. I'm with you 100%. People forget how great of a season he had because Jonathan Taylor came on at the end of the year, but he had a 4-touchdown game last year. He also was obviously their best receiving back last year, no question. He's explosive out of the backfield. The only thing that's really stopped Nyheim Hines his entire career is injury. He's been prone to get hamstrings and a couple of soft tissue issues that he's had since he's been in the league.
I got a big gambling factor in this game and going forward with the Colts. One, feed me them Hard Knocks. Give me all the Carson hate. I'm gonna eat every single second of that because I refused to watch this past season of Hard Knocks because I didn't want to see any of that. But this midseason, do we think that has an effect in the locker room? Because we've seen it follow other professional sports teams in season. Anything, or is it just because we usually try to fade the Hard Knocks team? It's usually been a good strategy.
I mean, I think it's a bad decision on their part, given that they have a brand new quarterback. He's already had a bunch of bullshit attached to his name from the old place. I mean, it's just if it's ever been a cash grab, Jim Irsay looking for another check type of situation, that's what it just feels like. It just feels like a I feel like they probably offered every team in the NFL, and they were the only one that said yes. Who the fuck wants to be on Hard Knocks during the season? Who wants that? That sounds like that's Jim Irsay 100%. I don't think Frank Reich was like, "Fuck, are you kidding me?" I don't think Frank Reich likes that at all. He's already had to deal with more than he's had to deal with since Carson got there.
Yeah, and the only one in season one they did was the Arizona Cardinal on Prime, but that came out after the season. So it's like a look back. Since this one's going to be coming out week to week, I just think that's extra and unneeded. And like you said, Wentz doesn't need to be in the spotlight more. I just need him to play 75% of the snaps and then get out of there with a losing record, and then we get a good first-round pick. So this added time, I'm not liking it.
And then I saw in the chat, Akiva Ekman with your fantasy question. Start 2, bench 2, Javonte, Tyson, Mitchell, Drake. Start Drake for sure. Jacobs is out. There's not a lot of competition back there for volume. And I actually go Javonte in this one. There's already been talk in Baltimore that they're going to employ a committee backfield. There was rumblings that Ravens offensive staff was not I know he scored, and he had the one big run, but like overall, they were just kind of mixed on Tyson Williams and him being able to do it on a regular basis. So I would definitely go with the opportunity and the upside here and go Javonte and Drake. That would be my choice.
I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. We getting into the next one because I don't have anything else. You have anything else?
No, that is it. I just don't see KD to move into the next one, but he says he's here. So Spindock, we're going to drop you out real quick and bring in our next 2 analysts.
The guys. What up, Jammer?
What's up, Sosa and Rex? How you guys doing?
I can't complain, man. Ready to watch y'all play. Where the fuck is KD?
He's getting his pink do-rag on, man.
Damn right. That's funny.
Yeah, but let's not just spaz it out anymore. Let's hear from the Steelers side first. In this one, you guys are home -5.5. Big road win last week. Are the juices in the defense going to stay flowing, or is this a huge letdown spot to open it up?
All right, so this week we got Steelers home opener against the Las Vegas Raiders. First home game with fans since 2019, so I'm expecting them to come out hot. Last week wasn't a pretty win, but the first half was a little rough for us, but we got it going in the second half, scoring on every single offensive drive, including a defensive touchdown. Those those second half drives, the offense started getting moving. We had some long drives. We had 11-play, 10-play, 9-play drives for touchdowns. So this week, I think that the Steelers should be able to handle this Raiders defense. What I'm worried about is our defense keeping up with Darren Waller and Kenyon Drake. But I got 4 plays that I'm taking in this game. First one, I got the Steelers, obviously, -5.5. I think that the Bills are a much better team than the Raiders. We're at home. They just came off an emotional win Monday night. Short week on the road, coming to the East Coast, playing 10 o'clock their time. It's always going to affect the team on the West Coast.
There
he is.
Of course, it was the pink do-rag. That's what it was.
Yeah.
KD, it's dark. It's super dark, bro.
Hang on, bro. Wait.
Super dark, nigga.
So, hold up.
This dude.
You good now?
No.
Sorry, just keep rolling, Jammer.
Yeah, just go ahead.
KD will figure it out.
I'll figure this out. Hang on.
So the second play I'm going to go with here is going to
drop
be –
until he's back. Go ahead, bro. My bad, Jammer. Go ahead.
I'm going to take the under on the pass attempts for Ben Roethlisberger. They had it set at 37.5 or 36.5, depending on what book you're looking at. He threw right around that number last week. I think that it was still a little too much for him. He's 39 years old. He shouldn't be passing the ball 40, 50 times like he did last year. And if you look at the numbers, Steelers are 5-1 in games where he throws the ball less than 38 times a game. And I think that a big thing that the Steelers are going to get going throughout the season is going to be Najee Harris. We brought him in to kind of take the pressure and the load off of Ben. And we also stacked up that defense so Ben could rely on the defense a little bit more instead of having to rely on his arm every single game. So that leads me into my third play, which I'm going to take Najee Harris over 95.5, 96.5 rushing and receiving. I think that we really get him going this week with the touches. He played 100% of the offensive snaps last week. I think that we could get him anywhere between like 25 to 30 touches this week, rushing and receiving. So I like to see him, maybe get over 100 total yards. And the last play I'm going to take is just a half unit on Pat Freiermuth, anytime touchdown. Anytime that we get in that red zone or maybe a big play, Ben's looking at those tight ends, and throughout his career, he's always been looking for them inside the red zone. So I think I might just keep rolling with this Freiermuth touchdown until it happens. So I'm going to take it again this week.
Always got to get the fandom sprinkle in there. Always makes the game a little bit more sweaty and in it. And I just think the Bills linebackers are no joke. They're decent in coverage, so that's where rookie in his first game. Not your ideal scenario. But KD, your Raiders, big win on Monday. You came in hot on that show on Daily Bread telling us what was going to happen, and it happened. So tell me what happens in this one.
I personally don't like that we, Monday night into, we're going to the East Coast. We're a West Coast team, so I think that's going to mess us up a little bit. But I do like, I was in one of the spaces there with Sosa with the Deep Fit podcast, and they're just talking about, the Raiders game and how we're going to match up against the Steelers. And I just find like the Steelers defense are going to really like key on, they're like, Tomlin's not going to let Waller eat. You know what I mean? Even though we're going to try to feed him as much as we can, it's going to be up to our receivers to like kind of win this game, and especially with no Josh Jacobs. So like it's gonna come to like Renfro, Ruggs, and like Everett to win this game, and like we're gonna have to beat the Steelers, the DBs. So yeah, I mean, I'm a ride or die Raiders fan, so I'm rolling with my team 100%. I just don't like the whole time switch and everything. I think that's gonna impact us negatively, but. I'm rocking with the Raiders all the way.
I couldn't blame you. I couldn't talk you off it. I agree I have the Najee prop. I also like Najee to get in the end zone. I think Najee's at minus 135. I like the play. I think that Pittsburgh's going to be able to run the ball to some degree. I also believe.
So kind of tagging along to that, last week, the Raiders gave up nearly 200 yards to the Ravens, who were on their third and fourth running back on the depth chart. Like their line is going to be a little bit better than the Steelers, as we have a very young, unproven line at the time. But I think that we can definitely get Najee some touches in between the tackles, as well as some catches along the outside. He had 3 targets last week, but I think that he'll get more this week.
Sosa, did you give out your props on this one yet?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like
I'm reading the
trying
comments.
to get my card together too for the people who are getting shit from
me.
In this particular matchup, I like I put a couple dollars on Najee to get a touchdown, Juju to get a touchdown. I like both of those plays. Juju's at plus 140, Najee's at minus 135. And I also think that the yards for Henry Ruggs is worth a sprinkle. I think that this Pittsburgh defense can get beat over the top. I just don't understand why Buffalo never tried. Buffalo never tried to go deep against them, and I think that's with Ruggs. If you have a guy that could take the top off the defense against Pittsburgh, you're going to get a couple of shot plays. Buffalo didn't try that at all last week. I just don't understand it. There was no vertical part of their offense last week in any capacity against Pittsburgh.
Because he had T.J. Watt in his face.
Right. I know the front seven's bringing heat, but I mean, you let these guys, play soft zones and you didn't, you took no shots. I didn't particularly like that. I didn't like it. So yeah, that's a little sprinkle on Ruggs yards, because all it takes is one play for him to get 50 yards. And I have a lead on the over as well. But I like the props you gave. Like I said, I think Najee eats today. That front four for Las Vegas looked amazing. But it was their first home game, juiced up, open new stadium. You got to take it with a grain of salt. That's just how I'm looking at it. I personally have this, and I also personally, when I cap this game, I have Pittsburgh winning by a little over a touchdown. So take from that what you will.
Guy go or is anyone else going?
It's all you. Yeah. What are your plays?
In general and for the game, because then for the game, I like Brian Edwards anytime PD. I think he's gonna see the end zone. I'm just pulling up the numbers right now for you guys. I like Brian Edwards, and I also like Peyton Barber, because with Josh Jacobs out, he's gonna get a lot of like red zone and goal line work. Like, you know, Drake is still gonna eat in the receiving and all that. But I like those are my two like plays for that game, especially my two like prop picks. I saw Peyton Barber anytime he at like 2+260 on DraftKings, not DraftKings, on Bet365, sorry. And then after Edwards is about like +200. So like those are like kind of juicy if you want to do that. You know what I mean? But I have I have like 3 plays that have nothing to do with the game for today. If I could like throw those out.
Yeah, rattle those off real quick, and then we'll get into the next game.
All right, cool. So I like Dallas on the money line. I got them at +140 like early during the week. I also like the Titans to cover at +5.5 -110. And I do like Arizona to cover at -3.5. And that's also -110. So those are like my 3.
Solid. I like it.
Well, I think we're in store for a old school. This is where just the defense is airing it out, or the offense is airing out, is just my side of caution. I think I could see the under come in this one more likely than the over here, but no official play on this one. Katie, Jammer Bets, make sure to be following them out. They give out solid plays on Twitter and good fan follows if they're one of your teams. But until next week, thank you guys.
Appreciate you, brothers. Let's
hold it down, guys.
Let's cash today.
So just as a reminder, give us that like, give us that subscribe on YouTube. We appreciate that. It helps us and gets a bigger reach for us here. As usual, keep dropping in your plays, ask your fantasy questions or any DFS ones coming in. But we'll get into Houston versus Cleveland. We'll bring in bullpen bets. Almost had them last week, bullpen. And if they don't have them this week, it looks like it could be a complete letdown spot just from how hard they fought it out. Houston coming in doesn't look like they could be the biggest potential joke that a lot of people were expecting, but maybe that's just the Jags. How are you, and what are you feeling so far for this game?
You're on mute. You're muted. Can't hear you.
Oh, no.
No.
It's the first one that's ever happened on the show.
Are we good?
We're good.
There
now.
we are.
There we are. We're good. How are you today?
Good. Having some tech issues.
We're good now, though.
We'll get that straightened out. So big game last week. You know, it went pretty much how I thought it would. It's tough, a tough spot, but you know, I've never seen a team's odds go down after they lose in week 1. And that's exactly what happened with the Browns. I got them at 16-1 to win the Super Bowl. They lose to Kansas City, and now they're everywhere for 15-1. So that's different, and that makes me feel really good about my wager. But other than that, the JOK, my stud linebacker, he only played 36% of the snaps, which was odd. I expect more in the future. I don't know what that was all about. The Newsome kid, the cornerback, 1 target for 4 yards. The kid is the real deal. So I was impressed with him. And, yeah, you know, the Browns, they could have pulled it off, but I expect them to put up as many as they want today. I don't think that Houston is going to put up much of a fight. You know, they're coming off a win, a double-digit win as an underdog. And now going on the road as a double-digit dog, if you look through the trends, those numbers favor the Browns big time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we might actually be, I know it's 13, but we might actually be getting a little value with Houston winning and the Browns losing. It came out at 11.5, 13.5 as we sit. The value's probably been sucked out of it, but I still think they cover. I mean, it's not an official play. So, but Chubb and Hunt should have a good day today. They both went for over 100 yards against Houston last year. If you want a little different look on a, you know, Millie Maker fantasy thing, you could double roster those guys together. That'll be a little different. Other than that, the dog pound will be fired up today. I seen videos. They're lined up 4:00 this morning to get in that place. So the fans are going to be rowdy. It's going to be a big, environment, big day in Cleveland. So I think that, and Odell Beckham Jr. Now, he ain't playing today. He didn't play last week. And I don't know. I guess they're just being really precautious because, he practiced all week last week. And then right before we got on the show, he was a go. And then right after I got off the show, he was a no-go. So you'll have that, it's the NFL. But other than that, I got some plays for you. Official, exclusive, Sunday morning QBs, bullpen bets, football plays. I'll only be giving them out. On the show.
Appreciate that.
I got Tyrod Taylor over 21.5 rushing yards. I got David Njoku, my guy, over 24.5 receiving yards. And I like the Browns -7 first half. That will avoid the backdoor and all that shady stuff.
Love it.
Now,
So I got a question for you, Bullpen.
Yeah.
Schwartz still looks like he's questionable today. I was going to be asking Peoples-Jones, like if someone's stuck in that spot within fantasy-wise, are you starting either of those DFS fantasy-wise? Or are you avoiding Schwartz and Peoples-Jones today?
I wouldn't play either one of them in fantasy. Obviously, they both have the upside to go absolutely nuts. We touched on Schwartz a lot in our roundtables leading up to the show. I threw him out there for Rookie of the Year, and everybody thought I was crazy. But after the first game, you could see where that might happen. The kid's lightning fast, and people are going to have problems covering him. So with Odell out, it gives him more of an opportunity. If Odell's playing, Schwartz probably sees less reps, obviously. Peoples-Jones, I've never been a big fan. I know he did good in camp and preseason, and there was a lot of hype around the guy. And then week one, we seen what we are used to seeing from him. So until he actually does something in a game, I'm not going to toot his horn. I know he has talent. I know he has potential. And I've heard a lot of good things coming out of camp. But I haven't seen squat. So until he actually shows us something, I'm off that bandwagon. But with the Tyrod Taylor prop, he went over that number last week against Jacksonville when he wasn't pressured very much or that often. Today, I feel like he'll get pressured more, so he will need to run, unlike last week. I think it was just running. And, he used to play in Cleveland, so it's kind of a revenge spot type situation. I know he's buddies with a lot of the guys and stuff, but I think he gets to that mark. That's the, why I played it. Njoku, 24.5. We hit that last week. I did the over 24.5 receiving yards. He got 5 targets last week, all averaged over 20 yards. So it was one of the best in the league, actually. So if he just catches one ball, basically, maybe 2, his total for the receptions is 2.5. So I expect him to get 2 or 3. But either way, I think we cover the 24.5. That line actually moved up as the week went on. I was seeing it at 20, 21 early in the week. But I still like it at 24.5, -115, an official play. Tyrod Taylor over 21.5 rushing, -115, an official play. Browns, -7 at the half, -110. It's an official play. And then the helicopter money play of the week, Demetric Felton, 16-1, anytime touchdown. It's an official play. Now, you think, this kid, he ain't going to score. But he does do the kick returns. He did have a kick return for a touchdown at UCLA last year. Houston did not cover a kick return last week because Jacksonville never had the chance to run one back. So that'll be new for them on the season. Not to mention the Browns are heavy favorites today, maybe the highest of the season. So if he does score a touchdown, I could see it being today. Like rather it's running the ball or receiving the ball. They use him in both aspects. If the game gets out of hand, I could see him coming in and mop up duty and getting a sneaky touchdown. It's a sneaky play. It's not likely to hit. But even if that doesn't happen, even if it's a tight game and he didn't get one offensive snap last week. So it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't. But if you're going to get the kid in a game, this is probably the game to get him into. They're not going with the injuries that have been happening throughout the league. I don't see them running Chubb and Hunt out there if they're up by 20 in the fourth quarter. So this could be the week. And plus, it's 16-1. He didn't score last week. So if you bet that every week, you'll break even if he scores one touchdown this season, which I think he will. But with that being said, I think today's the best chance that he actually does that. So it's a sneaky play, 16-1. Like I said, my plays, I got 4 units riding, 1 on each. And if they hit, you're talking 19, 20 units winner today. And that's the plan. That's what I plan on doing. That's what we do. We go big. We go big around here at Bullpen Bets. We ain't playing. My financial advisor, he's talking that my portfolio needed to be more diversified. Well, I fired his ass and dropped him a link to the Daily Bread Show. We ain't playing that. This is where my finances portfolio is going right there, bud. Between you two, like yesterday, Rex, with your 5-0 college sweep, I've gained 15 pounds since I started watching you guys' show. Like, this is getting ridiculous. And then the spin doc with his tout plays every day, just feeding the lion. The bags are getting big. Like, I'm going to need help carrying these bastards eventually. So you guys are killing it. I love it. I'm eating it up. Keep them coming. And I'm here to contribute. I'm ready. Let's go. Tail them up 20 units today. Let's get it. Let's get it.
That's what we need. That's the hype and the fire.
Absolutely. I come to play. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Let's roll.
Let's fucking go, man. Appreciate
Chris, any quick picks on this one? Because we're running a little hot right now, so we got to get into the next game.
Nah, I'm not. We're going to move forward. I like everything Bullpen rocked with. Obviously, I just had to take a phone call. So, you know what I mean? Sorry about that. But, yeah, we're lit. It's on. Anything that Bullpen gives you, I'm obviously rolling with it. Come on. Appreciate you, my brother. Let's get on to the next one. Make sure you guys are following Bullpen Bets at Bullpen Bets. Legend out of St. Louis. Appreciate you, my brother.
Go.
Sorry, cut him off during the Go Browns part. But you know what he's rocking with. Now, the spicy one of the day. We could get a little bit of heat in this one. We got the divisional matchup. They both talk a lot of talk. Let's see if they can be backing it up now. I know Michael ain't concerned whatsoever. King Spitz is feeling himself today.
Oh, I got mine are logged, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. Listen, this is the easiest segment of the show. We already know what's going to happen.
Go.
So,
Jesus.
Let's go off, though.
All right. Michael, you are first. Let's hear about it.
Okay, this will probably be the nicest thing I'll say about King and his Jets. Like I said earlier, we all know who's going to win the game. Let's not sit up here and fool ourselves. You know what I mean? But I will say they have a great chance of covering, really. Right. The spread. So, look, the last I have my notes, but I want to say 15 games. The Jets have never been favored to beat the Patriots. The last 15 games, they have always came in as underdogs. And so on the road, out of those last 15, on the road for us, we've beat them, but they kind of cover spreads. They're 4-2 the last 6 that we've been on the road. That's because when we play AFC East teams, this is their Super Bowl. You know, there's not going to be much for King to look for or look towards after this. You know what I mean? A Patriots victory will make his day. It'll make his month. It'll make his year. So they come to play. You feel me? So this is going to be Mac Jones' first official road game. So he's going to get a taste of the rivalry, which we've been dominating. And, so expect the Jets to kind of keep it close. I do think we win. King knows in his heart that they won't. And, we'll win the game. But I wouldn't be surprised if they cover. And that is all the nice talk that I have about the Jets. The next time we come to me, it will be very, very harsh words.
I no doubt. I think the Jets actually have winning today on a pick'em, not as a bet. Just I have it on my pick'em cheat, but the cover I believe it will hit. This is a new era, brother. In my opinion, you're still stuck on the Tom Brady, Belichick era, but this is a new era. We got two new young studs. I think it's going to be closer than people think. It's at home. We're going to be rowdy, and he's right. Michael's right. If we win, it's an extra adrenaline, man. It feels like a little mini Super Bowl, AFC Super Bowl, so to speak. But when we beat the Patriots, it's a good feeling. It's going to be close. I see Mac Jones throwing an interception today. That's one of my picks. What picks do you have, Mike?
Player props I didn't really go over. I would like to say the ones that we put out last week hit though. Jonnu and Hunter Henry got their over 2.5. I would go ahead and look and check for player props on the tight ends. I think it's just kind of I don't understand why our tight end is being our tight ends are being downplayed, because that's what our offense is going to be about. But the Jets are the Jets. Look, you know how Ben Simmons
comes
on
off
Instagram every year?
Off your tongue, bro.
He go ahead and shoot threes. He put out videos. He making all these outside shots, mid-range shots and everything. And then come towards the season, it's the same old thing. Same field goal percentage. He's trash outside the line. Ben Simmons is the Jets. Like, we've seen this story before. Rex Ryan comes in. He's defensive technician. You know,
that was a horrible comparison.
Oh, we got a brand new quarterback and all this. But at the end of the season, they still the Jets, bro. Like, stop.
I can't wait till the Jets surprise you, bro. You and a lot of other haters out there. The Jets are a promising young stud team, man. They're gonna surprise a lot of you. They're gonna stay in a lot of close games. That's what the fact that Wilson the second half of versus Panthers just came out and it was a completely different ball game. It sucks because the O-line was just trash, and we lost Mekhi Becton, but I think we're gonna adjust this week. But see, what I'm scared of is the Patriots' D. I really think it's gonna be a low scoring game. I wouldn't take the over in this one. Not a play for me, but the under is a play for me.
I agree.
But
this is all defense.
Another player prop I do have is Corey Davis. My Elijah Moore didn't hit last week. Surprisingly, he had like 68% of the targets, but he had -3 yards. So forgive me for that one. We'll bounce back today for sure.
He had the snaps. He had 68% of the snaps, but they didn't throw him the rock.
And he dropped 2 key ones too, so he would have got that over 19.5 reception.
Yeah, that's the Jets being Jets.
My bad. I was doing stuff on my phone. First off, fuck you, Mike. I'm gonna just lead with that.
I like Ben Simmons though. I like Ben Simmons.
Listen, fuck you, dude.
Not with those comments you don't like them, or you just were trying to poke the troll. Like, you got him. I needed that. Sosa was like out of it.
The playoffs. The Jets ain't made the playoffs in like a fucking decade, and that's who you choose to compare. You don't get the fuck out of here, Michael. That's the bullshit. Get out of here with that.
Corey Davis over 4.5 receptions. That he's clearly Wilson's favorite target. Although Crowder is back, I don't know how he's going to feel. I'm sure he'll have a couple of receptions, but Corey Davis is one lock for me. Another lock for me is Zach Wilson over 13.5 rushing yards. He's going to scramble. Our O-line is a little struggling right now, so I feel like he'll scramble and get those yards. It's at -120 right now. That Corey Davis reception over 4.5 is at +115 MGM. Lock that in. And I like your boy Nelson Aguilar. I like the over 3.5 receptions at +105. And
I have that play. I have that play.
I like the over 45.5 receiving yards at -120. So
I like it.
Those are the player props for the game. I do see also Mac Jones hitting his over passing yards at 245 or 244.5 at -130. So that's my max because I don't risk anything more than -130. Other than that, I see the Jets winning today, not just because I'm a Jets fan. It's at home. It's not the same old Jets. Correction, Michael. It's going to be close. And if anything, worst case scenario, they cover the spread.
Yeah, I agree with them covering the spread. Like I said, this is the Jets Super Bowl. It's the same thing with the Bills. When we go in, like, they're playing at their best. But at the end of the day, the scoreboard is going to be, Patriots did their thing and Jets did theirs. And we know how that goes because Jets are going to be Jets at the end of the day,
I will be on Spaces to recap all this tonight. You better be on that.
I will make sure I show up before Spaces, and I'll go ahead and let you know how awesome we were. I kind of staying away right now from player props with the Patriots. We don't know what we're going to get like from week to week, especially early season. Mac Jones looks promising. Our running game is going to be there, but who gets the rock? You know what I mean? Mac Jones is going to go ahead and get passes out, but it's the same thing. Like Tom Brady targets everyone. We kind of like whatever the defense dictates is where we're going to go. So I don't really have a play on any of our player
I predict
props.
like a 21-17 type game, maybe 24.
I see the same thing.
Sometime.
Yeah,
but,
I think it's within a touchdown. I believe it.
Fantasy wise, I mean, I don't have any recommendations, guys. It all depends on who you have as your receivers. But Nelson Aguilar I would flex him. It just all depends who you have. But other than that, there's really no fantasy advice here for this game. It's going to be ground and pound feel.
I'm running with James White in my fantasy lineup today just because I think we can expect him to get 5 catches a game. And if you have full point PPR, I think he is a good flyer target.
Disrespecting the Jets D-line.
No, it's just the check down safety valve because when they get there, you saw it last week. So I expect you could see a little bit of the similar.
What's the odds on that?
I have no idea. I just have them in my flex spot in fantasy. So that's the reason why I'll be tuning into this game. But Michael, King Picks, appreciate you guys. Hopefully we see a tight battle. Till next weekend.
All right, I'm a Bug King on Twitter, so I apologize. I apologize, man.
Hey, man, love you, Mike. Fuck you, though. All right, moving on to the next game. Steven, my boy, still got the super blowout this week. What's the deal, my brother? How are you?
Yo, I'm chilling, man. I'm again not happy, not excited for this game. At least I thought our other Bears person would be here, so I could be the pessimist and talk about why I'm kind of on the Bengals today.
Wow. All right, the honesty. That's the best part about our show. There, we don't hold any qualms about being a homer. You call it how you see it. I appreciate that. So, yeah, man, let's get into it. Talk to me. Talk to us. Tell us how you feel, what you're looking at, and
For sure. I mean, I honestly just hate this matchup for the Bears, man. Our secondary, weak. The strength of the Bengals, I think, with Joe Burrow and then T. Higgins and Jamar Chase is going to be their passing game. And I think Joe Burrow is going to show up, have a big game. And even though I really like what I saw from David Montgomery last week against that Rams defense to put up the rushing numbers he did. I mean, I'm excited for him. Still not very excited about the passing game. I mean, there isn't really a lot that I see that I like. I mean, hopefully just a couple more losses gets Andy Dalton out of there and gets Justin Fields in.
Okay, I'm rocking with you. I feel bad, bro. What I've been reading though is I've read that Justin Fields is supposed to get a wider range of plays today. He's supposed to get a bigger role today. I'm excited to see that. Obviously, like you, we all kind of don't want to see Andy Dalton. He looks cooked. He looks absolutely destroyed. And yeah, at this point, I have no faith whatsoever in Andy, man. I feel bad for you guys. But again, on the other side of the spectrum, you do have the hope of, hopefully a young quarterback that is next up and can actually perform at that level. I am on a couple props for this game. I like Cole Kmet. I like him. And Steve, I'm gonna do you a favor, bro. I like y'all to win today. I like the Bears today. I know that sounds crazy.
Is it just because nobody can believe that the Bengals could be 2-0?
it's not just that. It's that the Bengals should have fucking lost at least 4 times last Sunday. The Vikings just wouldn't finish the game. I mean, we're being realistic, right? We're being honest with ourselves. Like, I watched the game. I watched the Bengals-Vikings game, and the Vikings lost that game, if you ask me. The defense didn't perform well, but in the second half, they were the better team. They fumbled in overtime. They got down the field pretty much at will in the fourth quarter against the Bengals defense. They just couldn't finish the deal. Joe Mixon ran the ball very well. I don't think Mixon goes off like he did last week. And that was actually the biggest addition to Joe Burrow last week. He never had a game last year when his running back went off or played at a very high level. He really didn't, because the offensive line couldn't block for anybody. If Mixon's running for 120 yards, that Bengals team has a shot to be good. I don't know if he can do that every single week. And I think that, you're going to see more defenses veered to trying to stop him, because it doesn't look like the Bengals want Joe Burrow throwing it 50 times, right? But are they going to be? How many times are they going to be placed in a position where a defense makes them throw it? I think that Chicago can do that. I expect a low-scoring game where the defense keeps them in it. And I like Chicago to pull this one out personally. It's just where I'm at.
I said I'd take the Bengal side on this one. I agree with everything you said, Sosa. While I'm not that high on Mixon's yardage prop, this is an official play for me and one that I love just for sheer volume. Joe Mixon, anytime touchdown, -105 on DraftKings. I've already bet it. Look, Bengals had the highest run percentage at situation neutral pace last week. That goes along with what Sosa was saying. They were also the heaviest run team against expectation. So based on how plays were divvied up previously and what you would expect, they ran at least 15 to 20% more than you would expect. Mixon had 85% of the team's total backfield usage. That's 33 touches, which is first in the league by a decent amount. And so I think that you for sure Mixon anytime touchdown. But another higher risk reward one is Mixon 2+ touchdowns at +550. I would definitely not bet a full unit on that. I don't have the stomach that Bullpen Bets does by taking like 3-4 units on +550 stuff. So so kudos to him, man, because he's got a stronger stomach than me. I would probably do just sprinkle like a quarter unit, maybe a third of a unit on it, because I think that there's a chance that whatever touchdowns the Bengals do score today, one of them for sure goes to Mixon, maybe multiple ones. With you on the yardage, though. I have no take on the yardage at all for Mixon, but Sosa knows because he asked when he said, who are you high on this year for fantasy? And I said, I like this guy. I said, there is one player that I am sky high on, and it was Joe Mixon. It was my one gotta have guy. And the reason being was because of sheer volume and familiarity in fantasy breeds opportunity. Mixon's familiar with the system. He's been there his whole career, and obviously he leads the league in touches. So while he might not rush for yards, whenever they get the ball inside the 15-yard line, it's the Joe Mixon show all day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I had a few props I kind of like. I don't remember the exact numbers right now, but it's just a couple wide receiver yardage props. I didn't see the Bengals giving up a lot of short stuff last week, but they could get hit over the top by the Vikings. So the one guy the Bears really have that I could see breaking the top off of defense would be Allen Robinson. I think I'd lean towards his player prop yardage over, and then I'd probably split it on Cincinnati and do half a unit each on T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, because whoever is not being guarded by Jalen Johnson, or I don't know how I'm blanking on my own number one corner's first name. It's either James or Jalen Johnson. Whoever's not being covered by him will go off today. So I'm just going to do half a unit on each T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, because one of them is going to hit for sure.
I like it. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Big physical receivers do tend to play well against you guys. Also, I look at the game, I don't think the defense played that terribly against the Rams. I mean, they gave up 34 points. The touchdown to Kupp was a busted coverage. They had a couple. The throw to Van Jefferson on the big play to start the first half, like that was bad, bro. Like that was just bad in the back end on the defense. But I mean, I didn't think you guys are as bad as the score indicated. Personally, you had Andy telegraph a couple of passes, didn't look great, but I'm encouraged, man. I think you guys are going to be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, if when we get into like longer drives where people are only getting a couple yards of carry, then yeah, the defense can look pretty good, but it's not that hard to find a way to just get past the back end of our defense. It's like if you just want to throw some short stuff, then we can look all right. But if you got a team willing to take shots, then those shots will expose us every game.
And sorry, I just real quick, the two fantasy questions, the one from Jammer, James Robinson, and then the other one for the half PPR, that's Sutton and Aguilar without even like no question. Get Mike Davis on your bench in a PPR this week.
On the bench, you say?
Yeah, well, we saw what they did last time to Zeke, so Davis can't feel more confident about that. But Steven, we thank you very much. Hope you're going to be sweating pretty hard today, but we appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be sweating either way because I'm on the Bengals money line. But if the Bears win, that always feels good too.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
All right.
We'll see you next weekend.
Peace.
All right. Quick hitters time. Well, quick hitters for these next two. Spin Doc, your Bucks.
Yep.
Hosting the Falcons. Where is there the value in this big spread of a game? I know you'd probably be talking props, but give it to me.
No, I have no props on this game. No props. Bucks have too many weapons to even try to guess. The only thing that I do like on the Bucks offense is a DFS stack in a tournament with Brady and Evans, and then either Godwin or Antonio Brown. I think Brady is much cheaper than some of the other QBs you would expect to put up points this week, like Herbert, Dak, etc. So I think that you can slot him in at a lower ownership. But for the game itself, look, these two teams play each other close a lot. So when you look at the last 5 years, and you think about the spread, I think it's 12.5 right now. There has only been, I believe, one game, maybe two, that has not come within that spread. So everybody is thinking that the Bucs are just going to steamroll. And I mean, I for sure think they're going to win, obviously, but no, I definitely would take the Falcons with the points here. I think that you have a Falcons team that, it sounds weird to say this early in the season, like season's on the line, but looking at their upcoming schedule going 0-2, they're in that's a bad way. But I don't think they have enough firepower to win the game. I think just based on sheer talent, the Bucs will obviously win. There's no value in the Bucs money line at all, so don't even think about that one. If you're doing like a huge multi-crazy lunch money parlay, you can throw it in there because it's probably likely to hit. But Falcons plus 12.5 on the total. I have nothing.
I was about to say, my only, I guess, advice in this one is this would be one of my two survivor picks. Sucks to use the Bucs early, but make it through week 2.
Yep. Agreed. That's it. That's all I got for this one.
Nice.
Oh, and then, like I just said, just stay the hell away from Mike Davis in DFS.
I have one play for this game. Kyle Pitts will get 50 yards today. I don't like Tampa Bay's linebackers in coverage. I also think that Atlanta realized last week that they have to scheme him a little better. You can't just have this guy line up in the slot every time against a cornerback. That's not how it's going to work. That's not how it works with a rookie receiver, especially a tight end. You need to have him with one hand in the ground, playing the tight end position, getting matched up against linebackers so that you can actually have him in advantageous situations to be successful. I think Atlanta does that. The two players I like today, I like Ridley's yards and I like Kyle Pitts. I think they're going to have to throw the ball. Can't nobody run on that Bucs defense. So at the end of the day, I like Atlanta to throw the ball around the park. Obviously, I like Tampa Bay in the spot, but like you said, too many weapons on the other side for me to really be confident. I will say this one thing though: I do believe that Tampa Bay makes an assertive effort to make sure that Mike Evans is involved in the game plan today. He was an afterthought the other night. Obviously, Diggs was a good matchup, but I think that this and Evans game, I think his props for a touchdown, obviously they might be slightly juiced. If you can combine them both, the touchdown and the yards, I think that's a great play. I really do believe Mike Evans gets off the snide. He did not play well in week 1. I don't know if it was partly because he was used as a decoy, but I believe that this is more of a Mike Evans game if I had to pick any of the weapons, just because of how much he was not used in week 1. So that's all I got. Spin, you got anything else? Because we're running a little bit hot on time.
Go on. Go ahead.
Let's get to the next one.
All right. Next game, we are going into bringing in our next analyst, Eddie. What is up, my man?
This guy.
We're going to be hitting on Dallas versus the Chargers. Spin Doctor, you can hang around for this one as well. So, Eddie, give it to me. This is probably the most requested game that we've gotten in the chat so far.
Hey, do I got enough Cowboys gear on? Is this enough?
No, you're missing the chain. If you had a chain, then it'd be too much.
You know what I'm saying? The question is, are you wearing jorts and Jordan 13s?
No, I'm not.
I gotta ask. You know?
Can't do it. No. Can't do it. I get tapers. I don't even get fades.
Right. Fair enough.
Hey, what's going on, fellas, man? Glad to be back on the show today. Hey, so we're talking about the Cowboys today, and I wish Daryl was here so I can debate with him, but obviously he was.
He hit me up at like 4 a.m. Like, man, I'm gonna have to sit there. I think he was scared though, to be honest.
He was scared to show up. He knew it was gonna happen, man.
He was scared, but you know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Today's going to be a tough test for the Cowboys. They're going up against the Chargers. The Chargers do have a stout front 7. I really like their linebackers. I like their defensive ends. I like what they do over there on defense in general. The Cowboys were missing a lot of guys, man. I said it on Twitter. Whoever has the Cowboys voodoo doll, please stop. We had enough. It's done. Too many injuries, man. We're missing our starting right tackle. He misses a couple drug tests after getting drug tested 180 times. We're missing some guys on defense, and it's going to be a tough task. But I don't think the offense is going to suffer as much as the defense. So for me, it's can we get young guys like Tara Basham and Doris Armstrong to get consistent pressure against the quarterback? The answer to that question is probably no, because obviously when we had our starters in last week, we didn't get pressure, and the offensive line for the Chargers looks good. That rookie over there, Slater, looks really good. Now, I know this sounds like I'm about to lean towards the Chargers, but I guarantee all my Cowboy guys out there were not. I think I'm going to solve the Cowboys defense right now. If they could switch to like a 3-3-5 or something like that, talking X's and O's for everybody out there that doesn't know what that is. It's basically a nickel defense. It's ran a lot in college. You don't see it too much in the NFL, but what it's going to allow the Cowboys to do is put bigger guys on the defensive line where they're just ready to all they're going to be there to do is run stop and can create pressure from the back end. So our linebackers and we get to add in another defensive back on the field. So where we need to get most of our protection is in the pass coverage. Don't give up big plays and just try to stop the run as much as possible. With all that being said, my play today is Dallas Cowboys money line plus 145. Sorry about the dogs. The dogs are barking, guys.
The dog agrees.
Yeah, they're agreeing with you.
She agrees. Yeah, I like Dallas Cowboys plus 145. And if I had to get into a couple of props, I like the team total over, man, for the first half. I think it's disrespectful, set at like 10 points. It's I would take that as well. Give me 2 seconds. So a couple of props that I really like in this game. Let me grab my list. And this kind of goes, Sosa talked about this about Mike Evans. and the last game, how he wasn't used and how he thinks he's going to be heavily used in this game, I think we're going to see an overcorrection in Zeke Elliott today. So I'm taking his carries back. I'm going back with it over 14.5 carries at minus 105. It's not too juiced. Books obviously think that he's not going to get it. I think he goes well over. I'm also going to I'm going to keep taking Lamb over 5.5 receptions at minus 135 until the books adjust. I see that they're adjusting with the juice, but he's going to get over 5.5 catches. The guy had like 11 targets last week. It's going to happen. I'm also going Elliott over 17.5 receiving yards at minus 114. I think he hits that. I think just in the gameplay, in the game flow, he's going to get it easily. And I like Dak Prescott's over 26.5 completions. I don't think that I don't have a lot of faith in the Chargers back in their secondary, which is, it can be good. I like some of the guys back there, Derwin James and whatnot, but Dak's going to throw the ball 40 times. All he's got to do is hit a little bit more than 50% of those. So
yeah. I agree with everything. I agree with everything you said, Eddie. The only thing that I'm going to talk about from this game, because obviously we know it's just going to be points back and forth. It's going to be a fun one to watch. I'm just going to talk about it quick from a DFS side, because I think that you can attack this one DFS related. If you're going to play in a cash game, look, either the quarterbacks, Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen has had 10 plus targets in nearly every single game Justin Herbert has started at quarterback. Again, familiarity, volume equals opportunity in fantasy and DFS.
He gets open.
And you can put in CD Lamb. You can stack any which way you want in the passing game in a cash. If you're going to do a tournament, if you're going to do a GPP, I like Zeke Elliott. And here's why, is because this game has the highest over-under of the week. You can get a nice piece of that offense at half the projected ownership. For quarterbacks, Dak and Herbert are projected to be two of the highest owned quarterbacks. Allen's projected to be one of the highest owned receivers. That does not win you GPPs. What does are guys, so two things. One are darts that just like low price guys that score. And two are studs, guys that get a lot of volume, but that fly under the radar because everybody's on somebody else. Zeke Elliott is one of those guys this week. So I think if you're in a tournament and doing a GPP, I think Cedric Wilson makes sense. I think that Blake Jarwin makes sense. So there's a lot of ways you can mix and match guys for DFS. I would strongly advise, if you are playing in any reasonable size contest for DFS, you do not totally fade this game. I'm not saying I would stack up on it, but I would not fade this game. There's going to be too many opportunities to score. Got to have some piece of it.
Totally agree.
There's one other. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
I'm also going to come out and say it real quick. I'm with Eddie 100%. I'm on the Cowboys today. Cowboys money line. I'm with the number. I'm with y'all. It's going to be a home game for the Cowboys in LA today. Keep it G. There's going to be a home game. Don't nobody show up to see the Chargers. And then don't nobody show up to see the Chargers when they play the Cowboys. It's a home game for the Cowboys today. I think you guys are I think it's a shootout. I think the over is a great play. I think you guys win. I personally have you guys on the money line. I have the over as well in the game. Dallas ain't going to be able to stop nobody. I think we know that. I think Dallas knows it's put up 40 or we're not going to compete. It's that simple. I think we see back and forth. I'm not with the feed Zeke thing. I'm with the go with what works best. And that's the receiver groupings and understanding that you know where your strength is. The receiving groupings will be able to get open. And I like I like the Cowboys to come out on top at the end. I think it's a shootout, back and forth. But Dak starts his MVP campaign today.
Well, you heard those dogs barking in the background when Eddie was giving out that money line. Sosa's on that money line as well. So, Eddie, I see you have one last thought, and then we're going to get into the next one.
Yeah, one other guy I want you guys to keep an eye on is Cedric Wilson over 3.5 catches. He's going to play out of the slot today. He's a flyer. He's a good reception. He's a good he can run routes well, and he's a possession receiver. I like him a lot. Over 3.5. I'm not going to make it official, but check out my Twitter. It might be on there.
Eddie, it's funny you say that because me and Rex made a list of props. And who was the touchdown scorer that I had for the Cowboys?
Wilson.
Cedric Wilson. Play in the slot. I like him in the slot. He's the fastest guy on the team. All it takes is one play. I like I think it was plus 260 or something like that on the touchdown. It's worth the sprinkle off top. He's going to get the snaps. No Gallup. I like said today, especially in DFS. He got extreme upside. Now he can also not do a motherfucking thing, and that could really be an issue. But boom or bust, he's a perfect boom or bust candidate for today. No question.
And those kind of guys are the ones that can win you GPP tournaments in DFS.
Well, thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Spin Doctor. We're going to jump to the Tennessee-Seattle game next, where we got two analysts going head-to-head.
Hey.
All right, let's bring him in. You know that sports guy, 67. He joined us last week. New addition to the squad, Gambling God. What is up, my man? First episode, so you get to go first. How you feeling? It's game day for you.
Gamble God, it's on you, my boy.
Oh, my bad. Oh, I can't wait. I just tweeted out about 20 minutes ago. I'm going to be giving out a free play right now. I'm saying it right off the top. Over 53. Hammer that. Russell Wilson and Tannehill are going to have their days today. Career game. That both those defenses are just trash. I don't see how any way that it doesn't go over by like the third quarter.
Hey, that's a good start. I agree with you guys.
I also like the Titans plus 7.5. It's minus 130 by that point. I'm not going to do money line. I'm not going to touch that money line, but I think it's going to be a close enough game. I think what's happening is a lot of people are thinking the Seahawks, it's the same Seahawks Legion of Boom. And I think just the casual fans are thinking that, but it's not anywhere close to that. That defense has holes, and I think Tannehill and Derrick Henry running the rock can expose that. I also like Henry anytime touchdown minus 142.
I like it. I like all of those. But also, before we get to Ryan, I got to give you a shout out, man. Ryan came on the show last week and smoked it. He actually absolutely killed it. He's a Seahawks fan, so I can't give him too much credit. But you give credit where it's due, man. Great work last week. You got a bit of a target now to actually live up to. You set a high standard week one. You got to come back and do the same shit. So what you got for us? How you feeling this morning?
Doing all right, man. Just looking to build on last week. I think last week we had a clean sweep there. I didn't take an official play on the total, 53.5. I lean over, but I think the weather says it's going to be some rain out there today, so I didn't touch it. As for like the actual game, I took the Seahawks at -6. I got that at -115 last night. I don't think the Seahawks have that same Legion of Boom defense, obviously, but I think that their pass rush looked pretty damn good in week one. They did pretty well against what should be a good Colts offensive line. I think the Titans have some questions at the tackle position. So I think that with Dunlap, the way Rasheem Green played, Darrell Taylor, they put him on the D-line. He was coming off the edge a few times because I think they played a little bit more in the nickel last game. So, I mean, with those guys coming off and rushing Tannehill, I think that if they're able to get to him, it'll kind of mask the subpar cornerback play. Because, I mean, Trey Flowers did get beat a couple times last game. So with the weapons that the Titans have on the outside, I think the pass rush is going to be probably the biggest factor for the Seahawks and what determines this game. If they're able to get to him, then I think that, like I said, they can mask that corner play. So I took the Seahawks at -6. Another thing I took is Carson over 18.5 receiving yards again. No Penny. I don't think they're going to use Alex Collins much. So I think Carson going right back to the well with his receiving yards at over 18.5 at -120. I sprinkled a small bit on Gerald Everett anytime touchdown. I like the way that they used him they used him on a couple screens last game. Just the way that offense looked with Waldron there running it. I think good debut. I mean, they stalled out a bit in the third, but I think that's kind of expected. And then one other play, I don't normally look at this side of the ball for props or anything, but I took Bobby Wagner over 8.5 tackles and assists at -115. I think it's a home game, first game with the crowd again. I think Bobby's going to be pretty juiced. I think he's going to be out there making plays, and he's the best linebacker in the NFL for a reason.
Yeah, word. Gambling God, you got anything else to say? I agree with everything he said except he's the best linebacker. Like, I'm like,
I
is
knew
this
that one.
2016? Is we in 2016 again? What the fuck is going on? Like, I could have like it's 2021, right?
Look
All
for
right, I just checking. I love the guy. He's first ballot Hall of Famer, but come on, man, cut it out. Not the best linebacker anymore. He top 10. I give him top 10 still. Got some young boys that are in there making it happen.
No doubt.
Gambling God, anything else you like for it? Like I said, we're a little hot on time, but I'm trying to make sure I get you guys in.
I think Lawan's going to have a good bounce back day at lineman. He got his ass kicked by Chandler Jones. That's not going to happen again. And another prop I like, Julio Jones over 66 yards. He got kind of chewed out at the end of the game by Vrabel last week. So look for him to try to make a big bounce back difference. But like I said, hammer that right now. Russell Wilson and Tannehill should have a day today.
Yeah, just to quickly touch on that, like I know from the last segment they were talking Cowboys and Chargers and how it's I think the highest implied total. The same thing in this game. It's one of the higher totals. So fantasy wise, DFS wise, I think it's good to get pieces in this game.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. It's easy. Might be a little bit easier to pick your targets of players to get in this one with the Cowboys and the Chargers. You can probably sprinkle on anyone there just because of the volume that you have. With these teams, it's a little bit more limited, I guess, who you'd want to be backing, but I would have one of these guys in my lineup as well today.
Yep, without a doubt.
Just
gambling. Oh, go ahead.
I remember I saw the stat just to kind of back my Seahawks -6 that Spin Doctor threw in the chat. Under Pete Carroll, home openers 11-0, outscoring opponents by 8.9 points per game and wins by 7+ in 6 of those 11 games. So they come out firing when they're playing at home. The 12s are going to be rocking.
Right.
I think it's going to be a good game.
All right. Well, Gambling God, thank you for our first episode joining us. We'll see you next week. And Sports Guy, let's see if you can stay hot. But until next Sunday, we'll see you guys later.
Later.
Appreciate y'all.
Sosa, do you want to rattle off any quick props that you have for Minnesota versus Arizona real quick? Or do you want to skip that game because we got 2 minutes until we bring in our next guest for the last game of the day?
We're gonna skip Minnesota, Arizona. I like the over 50.5. Lock that in. I like Minnesota with the points personally. I think Minnesota is one of those teams that we're just gonna have to deal with their bullshit because that's what we're gonna get from them from time to time. They have one of the best backs, one of the best receiving tandems in football. I like points. I think Minnesota scores more points than they did last week. There goes Spliff mad as shit. I like them with the points, dog. I didn't pick them. I didn't pick y'all to lose. All right, but again, it's the NFL. Like, if y'all think that I'm gonna go off of one game, I can't do it. I don't have it in me. I can't go off of one game against a Tennessee Titans defense, bruh. I don't think that I'm not saying Minnesota wins the game. Give me the over and give me Minnesota with the points. I think Arizona, they're very good. They're gonna have to continue to prove it to me, honestly. That's it. That's all I really got for the game. I like AJ Green to go over 40 receiving yards, over 38.5 -113 is good money. You know what I'm saying? So I know it's a tough. I know it's we're expecting a lot of repeated behavior, but we still got an opportunity here to cash out on some money. I don't want to get overzealous and start telling people that the Cardinals are going to win every fucking game by 25. That would make me look like a dickhead. You know what I mean? Every divisional round. I didn't pick Seattle to lose. Did I? I didn't pick the Rams to lose either. Just saying. But yeah,
let's get into the big game, the final one of the night. We got the Ravens and back-to-back primetime games. We got our man Chuck.
Oh shit, it's the Chiefs guy. Big trust. You already know the vibes. Big trust.
What's going on, fellas?
Hey man, we chilling, man. You know, giving out free winners on this beautiful Sunday, man. You know what I mean? Every time we're gonna have to look at that goddamn thing behind you.
Yeah, man. That's a little reminder for yourself. So I know you got PTSD from that still, bro. But
Nigga, you're lucky I'm not suicidal. I'd be sick. But yeah, man, come on. Let's hear it, Chuck. I know how this is gonna go, and I can't disagree with anything you're about to say. So the floor is yours, my boy. Go ahead.
All right. Well, first off, shout out to the Cleveland Browns. They gave us a hell of a game. They're legit for real this time. So, we'll see what happens in the playoffs if we meet up with them again. But as far as tonight's matchup, the Ravens, man, that injury list is just long as heck, man. Like, it's looking really, really bad for the Ravens. I know the Chiefs right now, they've won 11 straight games on the road. And they've won 15 of their last 16 on the road. They averaging over 30 points a game in that time. So, that's pretty damn good. And I'm just going to give a prop right now. Right now, I think their prop was at 28 points, they team total. So I got it going over. I think they reached 30-plus tonight. I don't know what the odds are. I forgot what the odds are, but take that for what you will. I know all week long at Chiefs Kingdom, people make concern about McCole Hardman, but I need Chiefs fans to relax, man, because this is the first time that McColl's had a workload of this magnitude as wide receiver number 2. Because this whole time he's been in the Chiefs uniform, he's been used as a gadget player or somebody that can stretch the field. Like, his route tree has been limited. Like, he's running a larger route tree now. But I know in this particular matchup against the Ravens, he's found the end zone twice. So, and these are like 2 of the best games he's had in his career. So here's another prop I'm gonna give to the people right now. McCole Hardman, I think, gets in the end zone again. Anytime touchdown, I got it at plus 250. Already locked it in. So that's another one y'all can write down on there. And Patrick Mahomes, his birthday just passed. He turned a year older on Friday. So this is gonna be a showcase game for Patrick, man. Baltimore, man. I don't know about Wink Martindale, man. I don't know if he's gonna be able to resist blitzing as much as he does. Because if the Rays want to have a shot tonight, they're going to have to cut down some of them blitzes. They're going to have to send only 3 at times, play some coverage. Because if you blitz Patrick Mahomes, he's gonna beat you, man. He's gonna shred you, and I don't know, man. It's just gonna be tough for Ravens, man. I got Patrick Mahomes over passing yards tonight. I think it was at 318 last time I checked. So he should clear that easy. But the key part of this game is in the trenches, man. When we go on defense and when the Ravens go on offense. Alejandro Villanueva, he's in for a long night, man. Last year when we played the Ravens, Chris Jones had a monster game. And I think in this matchup this year, I think he can do even better tonight. And then we also can get Frank Clark back. Don't be surprised if he gets involved. He gets a sack. He hasn't said nothing throughout the entire year. He's ready to go. And then you got Tyrann Mathieu back. You got the Swiss Army knife back there. And he's had some of his best games against the Ravens too. So on the surface, man, it's not looking good for the Ravens, but I think they will hang with us in the first half just because they don't want to go 0-2. They're going to play desperate. They're going to throw everything in the kitchen sink. But in the second half, the talent's just going to be too much for the Chiefs, man. You're going to see a lot of motion, misdirection from the Chiefs. You can see a big game from Travis Kelce this time. Even though Tyreek, he's good under the lights. This is his spotlight in prime time and everything. But this time, man, Travis Kelce, he's going to get the spotlight tonight. I think he goes off. And I got the Chiefs winning by double digits. It'll be either 10 or 14 points. Well, I know the Chiefs will have 38.
So you like the Chiefs big time tonight. One of the best parts you brought up is the Ravens. I mean, they talked about it the whole last week is how much they like to bring the pressure. And, that's one thing you can't do against Mahomes. So that's the one thing to be watching out. So it's kind of going to be who's going to get that big break once they send it all. I kind of like Edwards-Helaire a little bit tonight because I think he could potentially get a drop off and break it big because the screen pass, once that happens, Andy will be ready for it. So that's who the one guy I'd be keying in, or if he's starting on my fantasy team today. I know Clyde isn't projected for the most points, but I do expect him to go over his fantasy point projection total.
Yeah, but that's a great point, Rex, because one thing we didn't do last week against Cleveland Browns is use the running backs in the screen game as much. I think that would be a wrinkle the Chiefs use tonight, especially if the Ravens come with the blitz. Because Chiefs, they're one of the best screen teams in the National Football League. They do a good job of setting those up well. So Clyde could definitely break, one, maybe two of those tonight.
Sosa, what you got for us on this one? Are you back on the phone?
Listen, I'm 100% on the Chiefs today. Baltimore's got too many injuries. You obviously just mentioned Pat's birthday was 2 days ago. It's just a tough spot for Baltimore, man. It's just one of those situations where the injuries just keep catching. They got to catch up at some point, man. Marlon Humphrey might not even play tonight. If Marlon Humphrey doesn't play tonight, we're looking at it. It could get ugly. So that's my fear here in the situation. I think Baltimore is going to be able to run the ball well. They're going to be able to, they're going to be able to move the ball. But that defense, having no Humphrey, having no Peters, or having a banged up Humphrey with no Peters, and with that speed across the line for Kansas City, we're looking at a tough situation for that defense. You guys know I don't like betting against Lamar Jackson. I'm also hesitant to take y'all on the spread because the Kansas City Chiefs have mastered how to play football and win without covering spreads. It's been their fucking specialty the last 2 seasons. So it's a tough. I think you guys win. I think I like the Meat Cole move. I love that play. I also like Pringle. I think Pringle is a very good route runner. Is going to really start getting a bigger role here over these next few weeks in Kansas City. If you watch the tape, Pringle gets open. He knows how to run routes. He's a better route runner than Meat Cole. Meat Cole just got the 4.2 speed and the track speed that kind of takes it to another dimension because he's like that. But again, if we're keeping it honest here, I think I like Pringle as well. But I like y'all tonight, man. I'm not gonna give out an official player pick because I don't like to do that in regards to Lamar. It's my favorite player. But it's gonna be a tough climb for him tonight, especially Honey Badger coming back. You guys got some reinforcements in the secondary with him coming back. Chris Jones, a grown ass man. It's gonna be very difficult for Baltimore to come in here and win a game. It's gonna be exceedingly difficult. So I like y'all again tonight, and it's pretty much all I got. I
got one last thing on this game.
Go ahead.
Fantasy perspective wise, I guess Ravens running back. Who are you more confident in, Murray or Williams today? Any thoughts on that, or are they just going to share the workload somewhat evenly, even though Murray ended up touching the ball more later?
Williams is the lead back, but neither have my cosign fantasy wise. It's too difficult. I mean, if you're banking on that one play like you got from Tyson last week, which is the one play he scores the touchdown and gets you 12 points on the one play, cool. If that's what you're looking for, then you roll the dice with them. But I got to see a larger sample, and then I got to really see a 3 to 4 game sample of how those carries are divided between him and Latavius, because then they're already talking about Devontae Freeman being added to the mix, Le'Veon Bell being added to the mix. So it went from JK being the guy to a real committee. And even though people thought, it'd be a bit of a committee still, it's now fully that. It's ride the hot hand, who's best in pass pro on third down, stuff like that. Like that's what it's going to come down to. It's like who gets the snaps in the backfield for Baltimore.
Yep. All great points, man. Because the latest I've heard is that John Harbaugh, with the coach speak, saying it'll be by the hot hand. As far as like who gets the the biggest workload out of them running backs. But I got a few more things before I get on out of here, man. If you're looking at the Ravens side, Sammy Watkins, he'll get a touchdown this game. He'll get his revenge touchdown. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's on Travarius Ward. So if you can find a Sammy Watkins anytime touchdown, that'll be another look. And yeah, man, that's it, man. I can just see us winning the game tonight, and we'll move forward and go on week 3.
I was about to say my biggest thing is Andy owns John.
Yeah,
we used to coach with him, but that's your biggest thing that I know is I think Andy's 6-1 against Harbaugh as a head coach.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Chuck. Appreciate that game. Nice little late night action for you.
Appreciate you as always, my brother. Best of luck to you and your team. Hope it ends in a tie. Go Lamar.
All right, fellas. Y'all take it easy, man.
Peace.
Thank you.
We've made it through another week. We made it through another week of Sunday Morning Quarterbacks. I just want to say, anybody that tuned in, I appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all. We're going to keep going up. This season's just getting started. Make sure you tail the plays. If you tail a play and you bet it, tag Sunday Morning Quarterbacks on Twitter. And just check us out, man. Let's keep going. I feel like we put a great team together and we're continuously ascending. I appreciate you as always. Appreciate everyone that's tuned in.
Go enjoy that drubbing. That's the easiest thing. Make sure to like us or like the video. Give us a subscribe there. Once we hit that 400th sub, we'll be giving away another $100. But Sosa and the whole squad that joined us today, all of our analysts, top in the game, repping their teams, give them all the follow. And other than that, see you guys live next Sunday morning.
Peace.